2,000 years later.
Hey, so what is that? Grass? No, obviously not. You know what smoking grass means, right? What?
Perhaps you then, my dear friend, needs an educational video about cannabis. Cannabis, also known as weed, bud, hemp, pot, or yes, even grass. It is the most widely used illegal drug in the world and comes from a plant that is native to Central and South Asia. It is most commonly used either by smoking, vaporizing, edibles, or even topicals. Now, with our current archaeology, the earliest large-scale use that has been found is by Proto-Indo-Europeans, which primarily used this plant for more spiritual purposes. But it was later when the Persians were found as the first group to largely use this for its more recreational purposes. Now, word of this commodity spread all throughout Asia, and it even spread to places like the Balkans and the Horn of Africa. And for the most part, it kind of stayed this way until the 19th and early 20th centuries, when many Western countries, including the United States, decided to ban it. This was, of course, until 2013, when Uruguay was the first to decriminalize it. The United States would follow its steps 5 years later for medicinal and, depending on your state, recreational purposes as well. Now, in general, it's only been fairly recently when doctors and scientists really began to take cannabis seriously and actually studied it. So we honestly have surprisingly little information about it compared to other well-known drugs. That being said, we still have some fairly useful information. It is primarily taken to give the individual a relaxed, even euphoric effect on the state of mind. That being said, it also gives decreased concentration, short-term memory, and even increased appetite, or often known as the munchies. When taken, the chemicals in cannabis often disperse through the body through the blood system, which is what gives it the classical red eye look and even an increased heart rate. In terms of a long-term risk, there has been growing evidence of the possibility of increased anxiety and psychosis if taken at higher doses, as well as just addiction, but the same applies to everything else. Statista has also found that in terms of regular use, there are about 3.5 million users in the US that do so, and the most frequently people decide to use it is every or every other day. Now, I will say that when it comes to cannabis, there is lots and lots of information from people that are both for and against it. So I urge you to get accurate information from doctors and scientists who know what they're doing, not your weird uncle when you're talking about Thanksgiving. And how do I know this information? Well, it's in plain sight.
Oh my god.